Greeting kings and queens. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another video. I'm the rebellious one. If you would like to join the rebellion, the best way to do so is by hitting the subscription button, watching the whole video, then hitting the like button. And then, now that you're a part of the rebellion, the best way to know when I drop work off to the camp would be to hit the notification bell. I appreciate every single new subscriber that I'm getting. I appreciate all the messages, all the words of encouragement. I thank you so very much. You don't know how vital that is to someone who's just starting out on social media. I'm not really someone who likes to really talk. If more, I like to teach the people that are around me or tell the people around me certain stories. So it's something that I've been encouraged to do for a long time is to talk to others and bring my message to other people. Um, so this is something that, I'm doing, and I'm really happy about doing it. And I thank you very much for all of your kind words. For anyone else, I answer all comments. Just write in the description box and we'll talk. I think today is very important. For the last 3 days, Dr. Rebel, of course, I've been in the lab with my white lab coat on. I've been under the microscope. I've been examining organisms, been, dissecting them down to a science and, figuring out certain things. And during that time, a lady friend of mine, she said, why are you a rebel? So I really got into my thoughts about it for, a couple days. And then it came to me. I'm realizing something, that your testimony is what's most important. It's what you've been through. It's something that you cannot overlook. So with me, from 1 to 5 years old, my grandfather, John Bryant II, rest in peace, he read me Bible stories, told me the importance of the Lord, every single thing. Looking back on my life now, I realize that a lot of things line up for your good, because after 5, I went and stayed with my mom. As everybody knows, as a single parent, that, you have your child go through things because the parents at work, the parents also trying to figure out their way in life, like everyone else does. As children, we do not understand that, it's something that we don't understand until we become adults. Then, if you have children or just being an adult, you realize that you have to figure out your way around this, thing, especially if you didn't have a solid foundation that your life was built on, that you have to figure it out as you go, and in doing so, you're going to bump your head many of the times, sometimes in the same spot, sometimes in different spots. But overall, you're going to bump your head. You're going to stumble through until you get to that point. And that's something that is prevalent in all communities. I mean, mainly it is our community, but I'm the type of person that believes there's no color on hardship. There's no color on a parent being addicted to a drug. There's no color on someone experiencing domestic violence in their household. It's no color on none of these things. People experience this all the time, regardless of their color. So it's not really something that I like to just single out to just our people. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that I'm beginning to realize is that our battle is not with flesh and blood. Our battle is not with each other, regardless of what our skin colors are. Our battle is not with each other. There's hidden things behind that we should be battling with instead. So it's just a thing that I always think about. So for me personally, you know, I'm not a saint at all. I'm not really a church going person. I was taught about the Lord, but I still went out and did my own thing. I'm one of those people, anyone who knows me looking at this camera, if they know you and you don't know me, they'll be nodding their head like, yeah, I used to smoke 80 pounds of weed, the whole zip a day. When the blue tabs was out, I was popping them like jelly beans. When the yellow Xan bars that was in threes, those were my favorite drug you could think about with the weed. I never really been much of an alcoholic, but I've done my share of things. I don't think many understand who want to talk to people about how good the Lord is and how Jesus can save, that they don't ever want to talk about those particular things in their life because it's something that one wants to forget. But that's your testimony. That's how you reach people. That's an understanding that you have with other people. As I tell people all the time, that the Lord has made me, as I say, a unicorn, because one person looks at me and they think that, I've never been through anything. Look at these brown glasses on. Like that guy, he looks like Poindexter, who read books his whole life. And I did read books. But these glasses are on me just because I can't see. I know people, been around people who got more blocks than your rappers ever dreamed of, who sell more weed than your rapper ever dreamed of, still doing it. People out in the world got friends that got more guns than Call of Duty. Like, I got all kind of connections with people that you wouldn't imagine a person like me would have. So it's not something I'm bragging about. It's just something that I want to get across to you, to understand that if I can be saved, if I can take this seriously, if I can discipline myself from things, then I know that you can. Because I'm like any other person who's been through so much, where I rebelled against the Lord. I didn't believe the Lord really loved me. If the Lord loved me, then why he let me go through this? Then why he let my mama do this? Why he let my mama do that? Why my dad didn't come get me? It's different thoughts that always went through my head. I was angry, walking around, pissed off, mad at the world, wondering why me. So I've been there before, getting myself in trouble, out here selling dope, getting charges, having background problems, things like that. I understand that. Sitting in a jail cell, no one coming to get you out, no one answering your phone calls. I've been through that. Staying with different women, whoremongering. I've been through that. I've been where you at right now. I've been where you're at right now. If that's where you are right now, then I've been there with you. Now, during my 3-day hiatus, I came up with a process. And the reason why I say process, because that's the first word in it. I call it 3 P's. 4 P's, sorry. It's 4. But I've been putting it together a certain way. And the first one is process. Now, the Webster's Dictionary says a natural phenomenon marked by a gradual change that leads towards a particular result. Now, when I say that, I mean it's a process because, as I just gave you my whole life in a nutshell, that it's a process that one must go through. You're going to get high, you're going to get drunk, you're going to pass out on the floor, you're going to wake up in places that you ain't ever woke up in, you're going to wake up in your car not knowing how you got to your house. Just several different things are going to happen that's going to lead to a certain process where you're going to realize that it's something more than this, or that I'm going down the wrong path. It's going to be something convicting you within your spirit, saying, something that you need to do better. It's something in your life that you need to happen a certain way because you're on the wrong path. Or maybe the Lord himself show you a certain vision. Or maybe something happens and you see where you're error your ways. And that process is now beginning your mind to where you like, okay, I got to figure out something else. Now, when you go to get the bag of weed, or you go get whatever drug of choice it is, when you rolling it up or doing whatever the procedure is, because everything has a process you have to do in order to do the drug. You really not feeling good about the process at that time. It's something just bothering you about the process of doing it. That's when you starting the wheels start to churning, as people say. Your wheels are starting to churn. So when that happens, that's something right there. It's something that's been happening a lot with everyone. It's not just black people, with every person. It's been a spiritual exodus that people that have been spirits have been asleep for so long are now being woken up. People are now trying to figure out what is going on. And that is a good thing because it's the start of a beautiful process if you can maintain and stick through it. And when you begin that process, it becomes a purge process. Now, Webster's dictionary says purge, to free from moral or ceremonial defilement. And then there's another definition that says R, to clear of guilt. Now, see, it's very important during your purging process. Now, see, there's one after that I'm wondering if it should go second or if it should go third. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna let you decide on this. But when I say the purging, it means purging yourself of the drugs. Now, see, I'm not saying that you have to completely quit or whatever the case may be. There's different people that say how to go about a different way. In my opinion, the same Lord who made this earth in a week, the same Lord who put the water, the same Lord who put this land here, the same Lord who made all the plants, made all the flowers, made all the birds, made all the animals, he also made that as well. That's not something that's man-made. So I'm not one of those people to be totally against that. What I'm saying is, don't let it inhabit you from your communication with the Lord. Don't let whatever drug you taking, inhabit you, where your mind is not focused on what needs to be focused on. It is always good to be sober-minded. I will say that for sure. But I'm also a firm believer in that everything is here for a reason and everything should be done in moderation. I do firmly believe that. But then also purging yourself from the desires of, being with multiple women, of, being with multiple men. It's very important that you purge yourself from these feelings, that you purge yourself from these different things, that you do that. It's like giving your spirit power, because no one truly understands. Everybody say the greatest union on earth is being married to someone, but it's really having sex with someone. I never knew the name for it until I've been watching the different stuff on different platforms, and they call them soul ties. That seems like a good analogy for it, because when you're having sex with someone, you are tying your soul with that person. It's like a intertwinement that can't be explained. Some people have said that you can feel the feelings of someone else. Of when they're sad, you can feel the sadness. When they're happy, you can feel the happiness just off of having sex. And then there's negative sides to it, to where if that person is in bad spirits or if that person's in a dark place, when you have sex with them, it could put you in a dark place or put you in a sad existence that was never there. So it's very important to purge yourself from these things. It's very important to really sit back and really think about these things in a bird's eye view. It's very important to purge yourself from a lot of things that are going to distract you. Whatever it is that you know is going to distract you, you have to purge yourself from it. And see, that's why I've been having a struggle with which one should go second or which one should go third. Because the third one is prayer. And see, the definition in Webster sums it up. It says, an address such as a petition to God in word or thought. Now, when I say that, we already know, but we don't understand prayer and how it works. See, prayer is like gas to your car. Prayer is like water to a fish. Prayer is like oil in your car. You know what I'm saying? It's vital to your existence. It's like your connection. It's like an antenna straight up to him, where if you continuously pray, then your antenna is strong. You got one of those antennas that connect to the satellite. You got satellite radio. You know what I'm saying? You got to them. Because your prayer game got to be strong. When you start to purge yourself from these things, when you start to purge yourself from bad friends, when you start to purge yourself from the lifestyle that you used to live, people are not going to understand that. So prayer is going to have to be strong. Prayer game going to have to be stupid strong. I'm talking about dumb strong. You're going to have to pray like, woo, like that movie 90 Seconds of Heaven when he grabbed the dude's hand and was praying, prayer warrior, like one of them ones to stop. Hey, I see an accident. Let me pray for them. Even if they did, it don't matter. Like, you got to have your prayer game on tack like that. You know what I'm talking about? It got to be stupid dumb prayer game. And then after doing that, I know for sure that when you honestly purge yourself from things that you normally will do, that is automatically killing your flesh, killing this prison that we're in, that our spirits are in. You're breaking free of that prison. You are like Peter and the angels. You are literally walking out of that prison when no one can see you. None of the soldiers can see you. You are walking out of that prison. And when you're doing that, it's just building you so much spiritually that the Lord hears all your prayers. He hears everything you asking for. He hears everything you talking about. And then there's a process, which is the last one. Sorry, progress, not process. Progress. Progress. Webster's dictionary says a forward or onward movement to a objective or to a goal or gradual betterment. And when in that progress, you are bettering yourself. Now that you've purged yourself from certain things, became with discipline with things now, where your discipline now makes you have judgment, where you sit back and if it's a certain female that you're courting, that you realize in my discipline that I don't have to have her, that I can now get to know her for real. I can now find out what makes her angry, how she acts when she gets angry, how she acts whenever she's happy. Does she really care about me? Does she really want to be with me? What can we do to benefit one another? It gives you a chance to do these things. It gives you a chance to really gain a discernment and really makes that soul tie much stronger when it gets to that point. I don't really know the exact time of when to say that y'all should get down. But I would just say that with the discernment, with the learning of someone, with the telling them of no, I'll wait, let's just wait, all that different stuff, it will make it more of a deeper bond. The same thing with a female. The same way that I just described that is the same thing vice versa for you, Queen. The same way. It's something that we have to begin to do because it's coming to a point in time now where you're going to have a more discipline about how you go about things. We were made to be disciplined. We were told to be disciplined. The Lord has always preached discipline through his prophets. It's something that we have to practice in order to progress to our betterment. And in doing so, then you already know, because you've made those proper steps, that he's walking with you the whole complete way. Now, see, it's also very important that some people don't really like to think about this. And it's very important that I tell you this because it's been on my heart and it's been on my mind for the last 2 to 3 days. And people are not really grasping an understanding of this. As you know, and I explained to you, I am not a church going person. So I don't want to, say go to church and all that stuff. But if you choose to do so, then do so. But just know that it's your walk. It's your spirit. Don't allow someone at church to ruin your walk or ruin your spirit, because you at the end of the day will be judged. So now that we've covered that, what's been on my heart is for an understanding that you cannot continue to play with the Lord's patience. The Lord is a merciful God. He is a loving God. We are his beloved creation. There are many people who tell you all of the good things, how he sent Jesus, how Jesus died for our sins, how we can always call on Jesus when things are wrong. And that is correct. That is so correct. We all know it's correct. But no one ever wants to talk about the wrath of God. No one ever wants to mention about how he is judgmental, how he is jealous. Most people are unaware. Most people don't really see what it is to be seen. The angels quake in his terror. His terror is something that none of us as human beings, none of us as his beloved creation wants to experience. His patience has limitations. It has boundaries. You cannot continue to play around with his patience when you are awakened and you know better. When he gives you chances to repent. He gives us all chances to repent. He gives us all chances to get things right. It's on you. It's on you to do so because he is just in punishment. He's not going to deliver or exact any judgment on you without first giving you many appeals. David will tell you this. All of his prophets will tell you this, that you don't want to be on the other side of his terror. You will want him terrorizing people in your name or in your benefit. You don't want you to be the one being terrorized. People don't understand. So I'll give you scriptures without even looking at the Bible. In Exodus, the Lord was moving to kill Moses. It took his wife cutting the foreskin or circumcising the child and that his foreskin fell on his foot in order for the Lord to remove from taking him out. I tell you the story about Balaam already in his path. Had an angel of the Lord ready to take his head off. His donkey, who are connected. Animals are connected to the Lord. They listen to the Lord's commands. They don't wait on anything. They know that he's going to provide. They don't worry about that. They belong to him. The animal knew that he was not in trouble. He was protecting his owner. It's very important for you not to take his patience for granted. It's very important that if he's calling your spirit now, for you to turn to him. If you don't have something, it's because you ain't asked for it. If you don't have something, it's because you haven't made your mind up to do the 4 P's. You haven't made your mind up to do so yet. It's something that you got to start doing. It's something that we all have to start doing. The spirit world knows what's going on. That's why they are working overtime. They are working overtime because they know they only have little time. That's what they're doing. They're working overtime. That's why you're seeing the world in calamity. That's why you're seeing what's happening here in this country. Because they only have a short time. Because he's waking people up every day. He's waking people up every second. He's waking people up every minute. He's waking people up every hour. Telling them, hey, get right. Get right now. Get right now. I'm done playing. Y'all, my creation. My patience only runs for so long. You're not finna keep playing around with my patience. I'm God. I don't wrestle around with what I created. That ain't what I do. You seek me out. You don't seek out other methods. You don't go talking to the universe. You don't be going to do what you want to do. You don't be convincing yourself that there's more ways to God or that you are a God. What is you talking about? You think I'm play? You don't think I destroyed this MF for once? You think I want to? I sent Noah to talk to people for like 130 days, 130 years. Telling them about what was going to happen. I be warning you through everybody, anybody. Some drunk person on the street. I'm over here letting you know who I am, what I'm about. I done gave you plenty of pills. That's me talking to your spirit. That's me telling you to do this, that, and the third. That's me. Keep playing with me and see what happens. You think I'm playing? You think I won't be the angry lion and have every hand left and have every leg wet with urine? You don't think that's me? You think the prophet's lying about me? You think I won't? You think I won't come through like a lion and tear everything up on my path? You think I won't do that? You think I'm just one of these old loving? You don't think I'm judgmental? You don't think my laws matter? Huh? You don't think so? Like for real? You think you just do what you want? That's what he thinking. Jealous God. Judgmental God. You don't want to see his wrath nor his terror? Make yourself right. Do what you got to do to make yourself right, kings and queens. Like for real. Like it ain't no more playing no more. It's no more playing. The time is near. We in the days of Noah. We in the days. We in the last days. I don't know the time nor the hour. I'm not going to get on here and act like I know because I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a simple servant whose vessel was woken up, who's done many things. I'm a sinner. I don't consider myself no saint. I am a sinner who believes. A sinner can inherit heaven. A sinner can inherit heaven. A unbeliever cannot inherit heaven. If you unbelieve, you cannot inherit heaven. There's no other way around it. If you are a sinner, you can do so because you believe in something. If you believe in something, it's time for you to stop playing around. The time now is here. A line has been drawn in the sand at the Alamo. Right now, either you on this side or you on this side. It's your choice. If you out here searching for something, if you out here knowing that it's something different, if you out here knowing that there's a veil going on, if you decided to no longer take the blue pill and you are now seeing everything for what it is, then understand now, there ain't no other way. There is no other way. Don't believe the nonsense that people are telling you. You ain't even got to believe nothing that I'm telling you. You can pray right now and ask about it. You don't want to see his terror when it happens. The last time it happened, it was people calling up on rocks, screaming and crying, begging. But every single one of them had a chance to get inside the ark. Every single one of them had a chance to. It's time for you to wake up. Do you ever wonder why the Lord don't want to destroy the earth by water? See, me, I inquired to it, and I asked myself, and he said all the screaming and all the crying and all the begging hurt his spirit so much because he loves us that much. That's why the rainbow is there every time after it rains, as a reminder about that he won't destroy it by water no more because of all the outcry pain. Because we are his beloved creation. We're created with love. If he can kick fallen angels out of heaven who sinned against him, then what do you think he'll do to his creation who he loves? He won't even let them return. Your book of Enoch tells you that. They asked to return to heaven. He said it's no longer a place for you in heaven. It's not a place for you no more. Those are angels that he created who was supposed to watch over us. They can't even get no salvation. It's no more playing. They working overtime. We working overtime. So it's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to do what it's right to be doing. Whatever method you got to go about it to wake your mind up, to search for him and figure out what your purpose is and move in progress. And when you move in that progress, follow your purpose. Should be 4 P's. Purpose after that. Find your purpose after that. So then you be fulfilled. Then you'll be fulfilled. because now you're serving a purpose. Everyone now is serving whatever purpose they feel like is what I'm getting money on, not the purpose of what your Father has set for you. That's what he's going to ask you about. Your purpose. Don't play these games. There ain't no spirit got love for you. Ain't nothing you can see got love for you like that. You don't know who that is or what that is, regardless about what your intentions are. Better stop playing around with the Lord's terror. That's what these pastors be doing, getting their pockets fat, telling you the 10 steps to getting more wealth and the 5 steps to how peaceful he is. And no matter how many times you do this, that, you know, you're going to be good and just call on Jesus' name and all that. You're going about to find out soon about to happen to a lot of these pastors who not telling you the good gospel about his wrath. The fear of the Lord is understanding and knowledge. The fear of him. Forget what a pastor said. Forget what your friend said. Forget what your mama said. Forget what your daddy said. Forget what your wife or husband said. The fear of him is knowledge. The fear of him is understanding. Just like that. Quicker than that. A little quicker than this. You can be out of this realm. In the spirit realm. Wondering about what's going on. Asking yourself, what I'm doing here. Dang, I ain't know it's going to happen like this. It ain't no more playing, babies. Ladies. Queens. Kings. Gentlemen. You in the Exodus. You have officially made it past the river. The Lord has parted the river for you. When you walk through, you've seen all the sharks. You've seen all the whales. You've seen all the fish of all kinds lying in state. You've passed through that part. Your feet trampled the mud. You felt the mud beneath your feet. You felt it. If you was barefooted, you felt the mud between your toes. Walking on 2 sides of water. One side here, one adjacent here. You officially made it across. The question is, now that you are on the other side, and you've seen the water close in on the enemy, Pharaoh was whatever addiction you had. Pharaoh was whatever you purged yourself from. You seen the chariots in the water. You looking at it with your eyes. Now the question that you must ask yourself is, now that I'm in my desert, and now that it's time, you should be looking at this water here. You see that water in front of you? You see Pharaoh and them all trying to swim, but you see the great waves hitting them. You see the Lord is bringing his terror upon them. That's what you're seeing right now. Do not forget that moment within your mind. Do not forget that moment within your mind, the terror that you see and where he brought you from. He brought you from bondage. He brought you from slavery. He brought you from not understanding. Don't forget that while you're in the desert. Don't think that he does everything the same way twice. He may not have the patience with you of 40 years in the desert. Your ancestors forgot about that water they seen close up on the enemy. They forgot about that. Don't let that be you. Like real talk. This that real talk conversation right here. If you can make it through this type of conversation right here, then you ready for that. Because this is what we talking about here. You in that desert now. And it ain't going to be easy at all. I'm not at all telling you it's about to be easy. I'll be a liar if I'm telling you that it's easy. Because it ain't easy. It wasn't easy for me. It took me a long time to figure it out. A long time. I was just talking to my dad yesterday about the patience the Lord's had with me, about the grace that he's been giving me. Can't say that for another person. But what I can say is, don't forget about how that water closed up on the enemy. Don't forget about that. I thank y'all so much for listening to this whole video. If you did, it's greatly appreciative. Tomorrow's a Sabbath day, so I won't be delivering any videos or anything like that. I do plan on going live. I think I'll go after I get like 100 subscribers. I'm not too far from that goal. Please share this video with other people, whoever you can. I'm not going to let us down. I'm not going to change. I have many talents. I'm a writer. I got all kind of thoughts in my head. I've been writing for years, articles, different stuff like that. So can't nothing change me. Can't nothing make me sell out. I refuse to sell out. I refuse to sell us out. It's something that we have to do here. It's something I have to do. It's something that I've been told I have to do. It brings me great joy above any money to see someone else tell me that they needed to hear this, or tell me that I'm finna send this to someone else. That right there is just good enough for me. I really don't need nothing else, because I know what it feels like to be in hell. I know what it feels like to be in your literal hell, where you literally want to end your life, where you literally feel like a failure, where you literally feel like the Lord does not exist. But I'm here to tell you that he does exist, and he loves you, and he wants you to come and return to him so that he can bring you into that promised land. But you're going to have to go through that desert. But he going to take care of you while you're there, because he's no man. He don't lie. He ain't never lied. He ain't never been weak. He ain't never did anything that he didn't say he could do. He did it. Whatever it is I say I can do, I'm doing that. If he give you a word on something, then you can believe it as sure as whatever you want to take as something being sure that it's going to happen. Again, I thank you for this message. I appreciate every single person. And like I said, we'll hit another video soon. It'd be best for you to hit the notification bell and hit the subscription button and start liking videos so more people can get, this in the work. And I thank you, and I'm out.